This is my state, this is my team. You know what that means. This is for the black and blue that I bleed. This is for the chance to bring home that ring. But everybody gonna doubt this. So far there ain't been another way around it. We bring heat to the game each week. They just say we ain't got what it takes, we ain't bout it. Well, y'all can just keep saying that we ain't gonna make it, but at the end of the day, this'll be the Panthers nation. You know, this ain't a game to us major players at every angle that you can think of. That's why you hate us. Get out the way of greatness. You can look at our faces and see the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to create this. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but you can save it. Cause even on the darkest of days, you know we're always gonna find a way to tell them what we gon' do, we gotta
Welcome on into the YouTube viewers. We're at week 10. The Bears and the Panthers in Chicago, Illinois. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps for in-game posts, polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, as well as schedules for the channel and the Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League. Let's get into the content, shall we? So, ladies and gentlemen, week 10, we are now 1-7 going into this. Shout out to Tower Hill, shout out to Kenny on Facebook, and for everybody else watching as well. So here we are, and we are still no closer to finding success as a franchise this year. After 8 long weeks of frustration. Well, I should say 9. Frank has become a liability here in Carolina. Let's just be fair. Let's call it what it is. Let's call the elephant in the room what it is. I mean, to be fair, it literally took the late hit penalty called on one of our players to get him to come off the sideline and complain to a ref. That's what it took to get him off the sidelines and to say something. And I'm just sitting there like, really? Really? 9 whole weeks. 9 whole weeks, and now you decide to come off the bench and start arguing for your players? Where have you been, dog? Where have you been? Because we've had several instances where you should have come off that bench and started complaining to these refs. Several. And it took a fake late hit penalty that wasn't even a late hit penalty at all for you to come off the sideline and start complaining. I'm sitting there like, really? This is what we're doing now. I done told y'all he does not care. I done told y'all that. There's your proof right there. And we continue to find more and more proof of the fact that this man does not care about putting together a winning season. Now, the only time I actually bought that he actually cared was in that locker room win. In that video. That's the only time I was actually tempted to buy in because it seemed real to me. And I feel like that was just all that pent up frustration just turning into a win is just celebration mode. You know, it's like you haven't won since 22, and now you finally get a win, and you're like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. It's like winning the Super Bowl type energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I felt like he was bringing to that locker room, you know, when we got that win. But the thing is, where is that energy for the rest of the year? You know, where is that support for the players for the rest of the year? Shout out to Richard. Shout out to Adam, by the way, on Facebook. Um, it just frustrates me that we got a head coach that does not have football IQ, and and does not care about the players, does not care about the team's success. Well, I mean, he probably cares about his success so he can keep his job, but uh, as far as caring about the team and the players, nah, he don't care. He don't care at all. And if it wasn't up to Tepper telling him to give up that playbook, he would have never gave it up. He never would, y'all. I've been trying to tell you that. But people just refuse to listen. So, I mean, here we are. And I've been listening and watching people's reactions to all this, and I'm like, nah, I ain't even gonna waste my energy on this. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it because you can't convince these people. It's like talking to a parrot. It really is. You're not going to convince a parrot to say something else other than what it's already been taught to say. So, I mean, you know, no offense to y'all, but some of y'all just don't get it still. You just don't get it. And I don't get it. I don't get how you don't get it at this point. You've been shown several examples of how this man just does not care. And you still follow blindly anyway. To all the Frank supporters right now. You know, you're so quick to throw Scott Fitterer under the bus. And yeah, he does share a little bit of the blame. You know, for not getting us the team that we need to win with. But I can kind of see people's arguments on that. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the people that are bashing Scott 100% aren't even saying anything about Frank. Not a word about Frank. It's like he's chopped liver. I'm like, okay, if that's how you want to play it, I could go totally against Frank on this stream and not say a word about Scott Fitterer. I could do that too, but I'm not going to because I'm real on this channel. I've been real on this channel. Y'all already know this. Come on now. This ain't new. We've been doing this for how long now? Y'all know who I am and how I am. But yeah, if you want to throw a little bit of blame towards Scott Fitterer, that's fair. Yeah, he has screwed up a little bit, you know, by not getting us what we need in certain areas. And you know, to be fair, I threw him under the bus for the areas he did not get things done. And I'm talking about the depth on the O line and the cornerback position. Now, people are arguing wide receiver. That's a healthy debate that can be had. But depth at corner and depth at O line, that's my main concern. That's what pissed me off for the longest because we didn't get either one of those things, and now it's costing us. Shout out to Spirit of Sports. He says, "What's up, man? What's going on?" Uh, Shout out to Corey Rucker. Shout out to Kathy. Appreciate y'all. Um, so we got the Bears, and I'm gonna be real with you. This is a must-win game. This is a must-win game. We can't, bro. We can't lose to the Bears. We cannot lose to the Bears. I said that twice, and I'll say it again because it's that important. We cannot lose to the Bears. We're already pretty much a laughing stock in the league. If we lose to the Bears, we are bottom of the barrel. And we ain't coming back up. For a while. I'm going to say that right now. Because I need people to understand this. The moves we have made have led us here. The choices we have made have led us here. Alright, so before I get into this matchup, I want to say a quick condolences to Matt Ulrich of the Colts Super Bowl team that passed away. Yeah, it's a doggone shame, man. I really like that guy, man. He was a good guy. And he was a Colts offensive lineman. Generally a great human being and a wonderful teammate, you know, and a wonderful friend, you know, to those that knew him. Yeah, give me a second. But yeah, that is breaking news today, as of today, 5 hours ago. And he will be missed. He died at 41. And there he is holding the Lombardi Trophy on the screen if you're looking on YouTube. Just the smile on his face, man. It just breaks my heart. Yeah, Colts won that Super Bowl in 2007. And, yeah. Cause of death has not been disclosed. But, the team owner, Jim Irsay, said, I'm heartbroken to hear the passing of Matt Ulrich. Matt was only with us 2 seasons, but he left a mark on many. Great guy. I hear he was a great dad, and he was a Super Bowl champ. My prayers to his family. Yeah. I second that. Those words right there. His wife says, pray. You are profoundly missed. We all want you back for just one more day, one more hug, one more kiss, one more laugh, one more joke, one more wrestle with the boys. It seems impossible to do life without you. You know, heartbreaking stuff, man. Heartbreaking stuff. So something entertaining for you guys. For all the Cam Newton people out there. So apparently, somebody attempted to charge an exorbitant fee to get his converted jersey number. Like he's gonna actually agree to that. Oh, guys. So, this is back in 2011. Okay. And I found this really entertaining because, looking back at what we know now, about Cam Newton, it's just, it's entertaining. So, uh, Cam Newton said that Jimmy Clausen attempted to charge $1 million for the coveted jersey number. Jimmy freaking Clausen. Are you kidding me? Cam says, man, Jimmy Clausen, we cool now. He was like, if you want it, you gotta pay for it. Newton said it in reference to the number. And I was like, cool, how much? And I said, $1 million, bro. People don't even make $1 million in a lifetime. This was back in 2011, mind you. Okay, so I thought he was playing, and eventually Clausen called it back with a different figure. He says, "Okay, bro, I talked to my people. We'll do it for 750,000." Newton said, and I said, "Oh, you for real?" And I hung up the phone. Bro, I can't with this goofy stuff, man. I can't. And Cam says, I said, I'm rocking with the number one, and I made an oath to myself. That'll be the last time Jimmy Clausen will ever be heard of in Carolina. Ah. Oh. That just broke me, man. That just broke me. That is some goofiness, man. That's some straight goofiness. Broski Bear, what's up, man? Jimmy Duke Cam got. Bruh. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, Jimmy New Cam got paid at Auburn. Oh, shoot. My eyes are burning, y'all. My apologies. Shout out to Emerson L on Facebook. But yeah, I thought that would be entertaining for people. Hmm. Let's see. Alright, so big news. David Tepper is going to explore the practice fields and the parking lots. God, my ass burning. Sucks. Allergies today. Sorry. But yeah, this is big news. We've had half of our injuries be during practices, and I mean that's throughout the regular season, preseason, everything. Half of our injuries come from practice, and I've mentioned it before. I've said it on stream. We need to see what's going on there. So, David Tepper investigated it apparently, and he's going to start making some changes. So, thank you. He's going to make some changes to the stadium as well. I don't know what changes specifically as far as the stadium is concerned, but it immediately caught my attention because we needed, and I think it's the turf. I think it's the turf that he's working on. Hmm. Yo, excuse me for just a second. I don't know what's up with my eyes today. Ugh. All right. All right, I'm good. Um, but yeah, my theory is the turf because the NFLPA has already suggested that they're going to force the owners and people like and all the people that are involved with working on turf to change it back to grass. So, and they've already announced that like 2 or 3 months ago that it was going to cost the league about $12 million. But I mean, that's $1 million per organization, and it's chump change for these owners. Like Bill Belichick, you got who's an acting head coach and a GM. That's chump change for him. Robert Kraft, you know, you got David Tepper. Chump change, man. These people are making billions of dollars. Come on. Chump change. You gonna tell me you can't maintain a grass field? You're not saving money, guys. You're not. Hate to say it, but you're not. Alright. So. On to Steve Smith. I wanted to cover this because there's two pieces of Steve Smith content I wanted to cover. First of all, we're gonna talk about Panthers under pressure. We're gonna look at this and see what he has to say. So let's get this going.
Let's jump into my Panthers, man.
What's the buzz around before we look back?
I don't know. I haven't been in town long enough to tell you, but I can tell you, it ain't no free. Listen, it ain't no free Bojangles. The sweet tea ain't sweet, right? They using sour lemons to in there. Everything is terrible. It's doom and gloom, bro. It's gonna be 80 degrees outside and people wearing wool sweaters. That's how it is, right?
Like it's Panthers Bears this week. They just completed the trade for Bryce this past offseason. They're playing against DJ Moore. Is there any animosity? Is there any level of intrigue for this game? Because nationally, there's I'm pumped for this game. This game only benefits me.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens, right? Chicago Bears, I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they know what they're doing either, right? At least my Panthers, we may be not playing good football, but we know what we're doing.
The direction,
right?
Yeah.
Yes, we know what direction we're going. We also know what direction we cannot run the football. We'll address that later.
Are we, though? Are we sure that we know which direction we're going? Are we sure? I mean, really? Are we 100% sure of that? Because, the last few weeks we've been trying to find the right direction, and I think we found some semblance of it, but we have a lot of work to do, obviously. But, it makes me question, are we on the right track? After that loss last week. We did play really well in some areas, but in other areas we played terribly. So I got a lot of questions, man. I got a lot of questions. And it starts with questioning that sentence right there, Are we on the right path? I don't know. You tell me.
Left side. But at least we have a consistent understanding of they're checking the box. Look, here's what we can't do. Here's what we cannot do. So let's break down right now Bryce Young versus Gardner Minshew. Gardner's 26 for 17, 127, one touchdown. So before
Journeyman.
everybody start talking like, oh, Bryce can't play, a guy won a football game, won 127 yards. Okay? Once, he was sacked once, average time to throw, 2.34 yards, had 8 first downs, quarterback rating at 89.7. I love 89, but think about it. If your quarterback rating is 89.7 and you're on a one-year deal, you are not getting paid when you hit free agency. That's what he had. That's Gardner Minshew, right?
All right, y'all hearing this, right? Journeyman, straight journeyman. Gardner Minshew is a straight up journeyman. Like he may have won a couple of games. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Ain't nobody scared of Gardner Minshew, man. Nobody in this league is scared of Gardner Minshew. Nobody. He ain't terrifying nobody's defense, man.
And people always say he's always reading. I'm reading my handwritten notes because that's how, I'll just write down as they come. Okay? Bryce Young, 39 for 24, 173 yards, 1 touchdown, I believe 3 interceptions. 10 first downs, 2 batted passes, 1 throwaway. Here's the difference, though. Average time throwing the ball, 0.4 of a second more than Gardner Minshew. Quarterback rating, 48.3. Pressured 21 times. Sacked 4. On the year, 26 sacks. When a team is getting pressure with just 4, penetration with 4, it's a damn jailbreak with 5. The offense doesn't have a chance, man. Especially when you got a low percentage under center. Let's run this play just kind of.
Thank you. Thank you. You heard it straight from the goat's mouth. You heard it straight from the goat's mouth. Agent 89. Thank you. Some people just don't want to blame the offensive line. They want to blame the lack of wide receiver weapons. They want to blame it on Bryce Young. They want to blame it on Miles Sanders, who's getting 2 points. Man, give me a break.
I'm going to show you the constant pressure Bryce is under. Right? Look at this. This is a 10-yard loss. He's dropping back. And so, just deliver the football. How? Now, I don't want to
I'll explain that one. I'll explain that one. Look right there. Look right there. And now look at 76 over here. Look at 76.
It's negative. I got to say it.
76 had nobody to block. No one standing there by himself on an island. Meanwhile, his counterpart needs help. Where is 76 on this point? Where is he? Where are you, dog? Like, are you out in Narnia somewhere? Come on, man. Get it together on blocking assignments, please. Like, this is a joke. Throckmorton is not it. I'm going to tell you this right now. Throckmorton is not it. Y'all going to have to do better than that on this offensive line. And then I read later on this week, after this game is over with, that y'all dropped a tackle. Y'all cut a tackle off our depth chart. With the lack of depth, why? For everything green on this earth, why? This stuff baffles me, bro. Like, for real. No. Let me show y'all our depth chart. I'm going to show you what we're working with. And then you're going to have a clearer picture of what I'm talking about here. Alright, so Chandler Zavala's hurt. Icky's playing like trash. You got Ricky Lee behind him. Ricky Lee is a nobody to me. You got Bozeman who's struggling because he can't do everything out there. He's not Superman. You got Throckmorton, who is a practice squad guy in my opinion. He ain't getting it done. Cade Mays is a healthy scratch sitting on the bench. I need to remind y'all. Healthy scratch sitting on the bench. This was my draft choice, by the way. And he did fine in the first 2 games. He did just fine. Why is he not in? I'll give you one guess, and the other 2 don't count. And that first name starts with Frank. Alright, so here's Taylor Moton, who's playing like trash. Who is David Sharp? Who even is David Sharp? No, nobody knows who that is. Nobody knows who that is, bro. And then you release a tackle this week to free up a roster spot for what? For what? What are we bringing in? We already brought in the corner. We already brought in Deshaun Jameson. So, who are we bringing in? Who is that spot supposed to go to? If you're cutting a tackle on a depleted depth chart, why are we not signing people up here and trying to experiment? Something's got to be better than what we got right now. Throckmorton is just... Why? Why? My question is why? And this is further proof that Frank does not know what he's doing with this depth chart. I've been saying it for months. I'm still saying it now. He has no clue what he's doing with the depth chart. It's a doggone clown show when it comes to the depth chart. Still, I will say this. Matt Rule is worse. When you put Bozeman on the depth chart in second spot for the 3/4 of the year, I'll say half the year. Bozeman was sitting at second string, and he had just won a Super Bowl, fresh off of getting a ring. Matt Rule was worse, but I'll say that Frank is not that far behind. Frank's not that far behind, y'all. And do y'all remember in the first preseason game where he decides, oh, we're going to put Michael Jordan in with the ones. We're going to put Cameron Irving in with the ones, knowing that both of them can't get it done. And they don't have the ability to play with the ones. And you still put them up there anyway. This is exactly further proof of what I'm talking about. Frank has no idea what he's doing with the depth chart. And it's embarrassing. And it will cost us games. You have to... Oh my goodness. The incompetence. The incompetence right here. The football level of incompetence. Now, I'm sure that Frank is entirely street smart. I'm not saying he isn't. But when it comes to football, this ain't your job, bro. This ain't your niche. Please find another job, because this ain't it. Head coaching is not your niche. At all. Go be a bagger at Ingles or something, man. Or Walmart. Because this ain't it, bro. Man. We cut a tackle for what? For what reason? When Bryce is getting absolutely murdered back there. For what reason? I don't understand it. I don't. This is the stuff that just, it baffles me on Sundays. and on Thursdays like this. It baffles me. Alright, so while we're on this subject, let me just point out which people are injured. And none of these are offensive linemen except for Icky. But he had 3 full practices this week. No offensive line injuries on the injury list except for IR. But Icky has full practices. Okay, so what does that tell you? How did these guys get on IR? Lordy mercy. Y'all about to make me do work today. Y'all about to make me do work looking for this stuff, man. I don't appreciate that. So, let's finish this video of Steve Smith real quick. And then we'll move on.
Man, the dudes in the white jersey is more than those guys. Look, all the jerseys in the white are slow it down after he's sacked, just to show how many people are in the backfield and how many people are not.
Anytime you can see the backs of all your offensive linemen, it's a tough scene.
That is never good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody's
paying attention.
But bro, there's a lot of folks. That's like you know what that is? Bryce is the grill. The hamburgers are done, the hot dog, and everybody's standing over the grill. Well, we got chef. It is tough. And running a football, they can't run a football. It's pretty clear Chuba Hubbard is the running back of choice, right? They're going with the hot hand. Chuba Hubbard.
And y'all want Miles Sanders to succeed in that.
Right? His biggest run.
Y'all want Miles Sanders to succeed when we don't have a line.
Gets in, he gets 5 or 6 carries. They got to be able to stop people from dictating to them, putting Bryce in pretty much shotgun formation the whole time and no ability to run a football.
Now, you're saying he's under pressure a lot. His sack percentage isn't as high as you would assume. The pressure has to be a huge part of these turnovers, no?
Yes, it does. It plays a part, especially when you're sitting there, dropping back, and there's always something. If you know someone's going to do something to you, and they showed it consistently, when they walk past you, you're going to at least
flinch, yeah.
A lot of teams now, they're blitzing, right? I'm not saying that he's not blitzed. They're blitzing. But, man, when you can consistently get pressure with 4 and drop 7, that makes it really difficult for the wide receivers to get open. Because
Thank
you. More DBs than receivers. I mean, Bryce scrambled for 5 times, which is great, but
somebody understands it.
That is not what he's known for, scrambling.
Oh,
if
my
you're
goodness.
Going into this offseason as a Panthers fan.
Off-season? How about Thursday?
Sure,
Let's start Thursday first. You done got past way too much.
Well, because in the middle of the season, there's only so much there's only so much you can fix.
I mean, it's so many things that you're trying to skip over. I can't let you.
Listen, as the fan on this show, I'm looking towards the offseason for my team. I know Panthers fans are doing the same thing. Of course.
You already doing Cinco de Mayo? Goodness gracious.
Well, what's there to watch? What's there to watch?
You still got Taco Tuesday?
There's nothing to watch. What would you think, like a true dominant number 1 receiver would help more, or a true left tackle or entire line revamp?
Man, easy answer, tackle.
I gotta be
I'm genuinely curious. Like, what do you think would, because you wouldn't be able to pressure as quickly or as consistently if there were a true vertical threat. Not to say that there isn't talent on this wide receiver core,
offensive line revamp, really. Except for Bozeman and Corbett.
That doesn't exist there. Maybe Mingo becomes it someday. Obviously, he's still young. But you see a lot of these other younger quarterbacks throughout the league, they took that step when an A.J. Brown gets there, when a Tyreek Hill gets there, not beforehand. So would that be more beneficial, or would just time in the pocket, more time in the pocket, better running the ball? Would that be more beneficial?
And this has been the running debate all year. It really has. Because some people are saying, oh, well, he just needs a number one wide receiver. Okay, well, we have Thielen. We have a number one receiver. But people are arguing, oh, no, he's not a number one receiver. Yes, he was. He was in Minnesota before we even picked him up. So I don't want to hear that tired argument anymore. We have a number one wide receiver. Plus, we missed out on Martavius Bryant. He just went to the Dallas Cowboys. We missed out on DeAndre Hopkins because we didn't have the money. We missed out on T. Higgins because we couldn't trade for him. So what do you want? What do you want right now? We missed out on McCole Hardman too. And the Chiefs bought him back for pennies on the dime. But that dude's got way more talent than he is being paid for. Way more. Like, they are cheapscaping him, man. I don't... The Chiefs don't know what to do with him, really, at the moment, because they got so much other talent. See, the reason they moved him is because of Tyreek Hill. And then the Jets misuse him because they have no clue what to do with that kind of talent. Are you kidding me? What? How did the Jets end up with that kind of talent? And they don't even know how to use him, man. How many times did that man get thrown the ball to? Like 2 or 3 times? 2 or 3 times? What, that's it? That's all you're going to do with him? Man, please. The Chiefs knew exactly what they were doing when they traded him to the Jets. They cut him, man. They were trying to get rid of that big contract. Jets picked it up. And then Jets misuse him. He goes back to the Chiefs for pennies on the dime. So now they got him for basically almost a rookie contract. And I'm sitting there like, really? Really? This is what we're doing now? And we completely missed this entire process. The entire process, we completely ignored it. And let him go. I don't even know why a wide receiver of that caliber would want to go to the Jets anyway. But here we are, right? It's been a weird year in the NFL. We're at week 10, right? So, if you want to talk wide receivers, we have missed a lot of opportunities to pick up a quality number one wide receiver. You know, in everybody's mind. I value Thielen as a quality number one wide receiver at this point because he's putting up those types of numbers. But, you know, have we missed those opportunities? Yes. And my thing is, like, this is an easy one for me. We need offensive linemen. We need offensive linemen like yesterday. Because half these offensive linemen are on the IR. The other half are underperforming. And then you got no depth. So please tell me how Bryce is supposed to sit back there and find targets when he does not have the time to do so. When you got people like Throckmorton who can't hold a block to save his life. Dude couldn't block a beach ball. So, Taylor Moton, same thing. Icky, same thing. None of y'all three could hold a beach ball right now and block that. If y'all were facing a tackling dummy right now, the tackling dummy would win. I mean, that's where we're at right now. That's how y'all are playing right now. I'm just calling it what it is. This ain't a personal attack towards nobody. This is what I'm witnessing on the field every Sunday. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong in chat, because honestly, if y'all are seeing this differently, y'all are watching a different game than I am. Because this O-line is just not it. So Broski Bear says Bears are starting an undrafted rookie quarterback from Division II Shepherd University tonight. Your thoughts? And again, this is Gardner Minshew. We've watched Gardner Minshew be a journeyman throughout the entire league. Like, I've yet to see him turn into a Pro Bowler yet. You know, maybe with the right quarterback coach, but right now I'm not seeing it. This dude's second stringer, third stringer at best around the league. And a weak second stringer at that. So if we get beat by that, that's awful. That's embarrassing. Y'all better not let us get... I'm telling you, y'all better not lose to Gardner Minshew. And I would feel the same way about Justin Fields, because Justin Fields is not getting it done for y'all either in Chicago. He's not. Y'all had one good game with him, but consider who it was against. Alright? Look at that secondary that you were throwing into with Justin Fields. And you tell me, after witnessing what Justin Fields has been doing the last 2 years, is Justin Fields finally breaking out of the bust category for you? No. I doubt it. But, you know, Bears fans are fiercely loyal to the man, and I get it. We feel the same way about Bryce Young right now. So, I get it. You know, half of us aren't. You know, half of us are. So, and for those that are defending Bryce Young, I actually had Lock Poppy tell me this before the stream. I don't know if it was Lock Poppy or who it was. Let me see. Let me see real quick. Carl. Carl said it. Where he was just like, and I quote, "I don't think I've ever defended any of our quarterbacks as much as I have Bryce in the last month alone. And remember, I didn't even want him. I wanted CJ." I'm like, dang. Y'all killing me right now. Half this fan base. Y'all some flip-flopping clowns, man. For real. I just gotta call it what it is. Y'all some flip-flopping clowns. And I've seen it week after week after week. It is so easy to trash another player. But when they do well, y'all won't show them any love. Y'all won't show them much love at all. If any. In some cases. I've seen it. Don't act like you haven't done it. Because I've seen it. And I'm not talking about the YouTubers. I'm talking about the casual fans that go into the Facebook groups. I'm not talking to the crew here because I know y'all show love to these players. You know, y'all do exactly what I'm doing. Y'all show love to the players, and you throw the players under the bus that need to be thrown under the bus at the times that it is necessary. I'm talking about the rest of these people, man. These flip-flopping clowns, man. And listen, man. This ain't the way to conduct yourselves as fans. If you want to support a team, man. This ain't it. Y'all want to be flip-flopping clowns, man, go support another team. Because this ain't what we're doing here. You're either on board with these players or you're not. And I'm gonna say that again very, very clearly. You either support these players or you're not. And I'm not talking about constructive criticism. I'm saying either you support them or you don't. Don't flip flop. Man. Vietnam says, I'm watching the pregame on Amazon and they haven't said anything about the Panthers yet. They just had 20 minutes talking to the Eagles player about his life instead of talking about how we can win. Man, I keep telling you, they don't care about us. They don't care about us. The rest of the league does not care about the Panthers. We're irrelevant. And rightfully so. When we go 1-7, we deserve to be rightful. We deserve to be ignored. Again, tell me where I'm wrong here. Lot Poppy says, my brother Corey. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, man. If we can't seem to get it together, why should we ask people to respect this team? Why? Why? For what reason? We got to get our own house in order before we can start asking people to respect us. Alright. Let's continue.
Right, better protection so you don't speed up the progression. It's very tough for a young wide receiver to have a 15-yard route and 10 yards into your route, your quarterback is already flushed out of the pocket.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Did y'all just hear what he just said? Did y'all just hear what he just said? Thank you. Thank you. I'll take my flowers now. Thank you. I've been saying that. People just don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept that some of this blame goes to the offensive line. They want to blame Price every time. And I'm like, how? 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 Fadom says it's frustrating as heck to be in prime time and not even talked about. I get it. I get it, man. But are we a relevant team, though? Are we a relevant team? We're 1-7. We're trying to get our second win today. And like Poppy said it best, you know, the last time we were relevant was 2015, 2017. Exactly. Exactly. Even when we had those players, everybody overlooked them. But they respected them. They respected them during 2016 and 17, though. Even though we lost that Super Bowl. Vietnam says, if y'all can remember, they only talked about how we were worse than 10-0 team, and that was when we were winning. Yeah, everybody hates this team, man. Everybody hates it. Outside of the Panthers, everybody hates us. And Vietnam's exactly right. Even when we were going 10-0, everybody was like, ooh, the Panthers are so trash here. The Panthers can't do this. The Panthers can't do that. What do we do? What did we do that year? Y'all remind me. Y'all don't need to remind me. Y'all already know. If you've been Panthers fans. If you've been watching the league at all during that year. So. But I mean, back to Steve Smith's point here. And he's exactly correct. If you are a wide receiver and you are going out for a 15-yard route, and you have to turn 10 yards into it, and Bryce is already under pressure before you even turn, you're screwed. You're not getting the ball. I'm sorry, you're not getting the ball. And that makes it so much easier for the coverage to adjust and get on you. So, yeah. How is he supposed to get that ball to you?
Yeah, or he's sacked. That's that's tough because now what you really start to do is you start to train a wide receiver to cut his routes off short because you don't have the time. And sometimes that
Exactly.
throws off the timing. Where the Carolina Panthers are right now is you want to be careful
Listen to him.
not to create bad habits in the pass game out of the quarterback or the wide receivers because of how much pressure and ineffectiveness this pass game is when you compare it to the pass game of everyone else or even just guys in your own division. Like you just see all these
Facts.
guys and it's just not going well. You see all these guys
Facts.
running routes and it's just not going well, right? You got to almost be damn
Facts.
near perfect, and that's impossible. You can't be perfect. You got to
Facts.
have protection up front. You got to have some guys that can run some good routes.
All right, chill,
You got
dude.
to have a guy that can
Stop
have
messaging
time
me.
to throw the football. Well, you don't have that right now, and it affects everybody. Look, if you can't block consistently, and I'm not saying these guys can't block, they're struggling to consistently give Bryce enough time that he can make the right decision.
Thank you.
Getting pressure.
Thank you. Stop it right there. Y'all heard what this man just said. Y'all heard what this man just said. Yet everybody wants to say, oh, Taylor Moton is complete trash. AK is complete trash. No, they're not. They can block. But are they consistently blocking? No, they are not. And that is what is getting Bryce killed back there. Thank you, Steve Smith. I've been saying it for a few weeks now. Thank you.
With 4, speeds up everything. Like that's one of the toughest things that teams are doing now is like, look, we'll rather punt it and back them up. Every time the Carolina Panthers have been backed up in all of the games, they rarely get out of that backed up situation. They're generally punting the football.
Facts. 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 How many times? How many times, guys? How many times? I've lost count at this point.
Defense is playing so well, and another trend that I'm seeing, when you know the dam is about to break, is it always generally happens for me is when I'm watching the game, it's about that third quarter. That third quarter, it goes this way or it just starts to flatline. Where all the little small mistakes or nuances or adjustments. And why that happened. First 2 quarters, the scouts, the coordinators, the coaches are all out there taking their notes. And then at halftime, they all come down and the teams go, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what they're doing on these situations when they're lined up in here, when they're doing that. So make these adjustments. And bang, about the third quarter, that's when the dam breaks. That's when it's happening.
And we don't know how to make adjustments. Frank doesn't know what the word adjustments is. He also doesn't know what an audible is either, apparently. Because we keep running the same draw plays up the middle, right into a crowded box of 6 to 8 people. And we expect everything to... We expect Miles Sanders and Chuba to get more than 2 or 3 yards off of that. No, they're not. They're not Christian McCaffrey. Stop it. They're not Christian McCaffrey. Neither one of them are. Y'all need to stop this. Now, I don't know who keeps calling that and not adjusting out of it. But this is getting ridiculous. Now, I understand if it's a setup play and you're about to do like a play action or some type of fade play. I get it. Okay? I get it. If it's a setup, fine. I got no problem with it. But doing it over and over and over and over again and expecting different results, that's insanity. That's the definition of insanity. And whoever keeps calling this play is insane. Let's call it what it is. That's exactly what it is, man. They're insane. They're expecting different results after doing the same thing over and over again.
The teams change their signs at halftime.
You don't change your signs. You adjust. But
Thank
everybody's
you.
adjusting. the team that's winning and losing adjusted. And you don't know the adjustment until, this means now they're not blitzing. That's where it's happening. The third quarter, man. The third quarter for the Carolina Panthers. That's when things start to get dicey. You want to be able to grade this coaching staff and this team. I think you start grading them before free agency. That's when you know what direction this team is going.
Yep. He said it. He said the word adjustments. Y'all heard it. I don't need to say anymore. This man's speaking for me right now. The GOAT's speaking for me right now. Go ahead, GOAT.
The priorities that I have for this team right now is depth in the secondary.
Yep.
Having more players that are a 3-4, not a conversion from 4-3 to 3-4.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Point and point.
Tight end play, and I think you go from there.
Point and point, sir. I agree. And we need to sign some offensive line help too. We got $6 million in cap space right now. I'm showing you right now where we're at. $6.5 million in cap space. And we can't sign some offensive line help, but instead we let a tackle go when we know we're having trouble in tackle position right now? What sense does this make? When half of your tackles are on IR. Oh, God. Like Mr. Carolina says multiple times, make it make sense. Make it make sense. And we're not doing the things that we need to do to make it make sense. Alright, so I showed you that. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Martavius Bryant signing with the Dallas Cowboys. Doggone it, man. That pisses me off. That's a bona fide number one wide receiver right there, and y'all just let him go to the doggone Dallas Cowboys. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all ought to be freaking ashamed of yourselves. Man, I'm telling you this. Where's that other clip with Steve Smith? I want to... Alright. This is what I want y'all to hear right here. Hold up. Before we start this clip, alright, before we start this, I want all the players of these Carolina Panthers team to pay attention right now. Any Panthers players that are watching this, pay attention to this right here. I'm going to give y'all a second. Pay attention. This is Steve Smith telling a story right now. Alright, let's go.
Quick story, I got a chance to see Mostert and say, hey bro, man, stop telling people you old. I was watching him play when I was in Baltimore. And he walks up to me, he says, hey, AOG, when you gonna shut it down? And he told me the story, and I said, oh goodness, what did I say? I said, hey young buck, I'm gonna shut it down when I feel like shutting it down. But today you about to get that work.
They don't call me the playmaker for nothing.
And when I told him that, how I said it, he said, dang, this dude is near the end of his career, and he's still hungry like it's his rookie year. I'm trying to make something happen so I could go ahead and set the family up. Ever since then, ever since you talked to me that way, he said it inspired me to realize, man, I gotta be hungry every day.
He gotta be hungry every day. Y'all hear that, Panthers players? Y'all hear that? Y'all heard that, right? You gotta be hungry every day. Look at your rookie year. Now, what does that tell you right there? What does that tell you? Because I look around this team on Sundays and I see a bunch of players that are just loafing around, that are not getting it done, third quarter, fourth quarter. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Y'all better step it up. Y'all ain't hungry. I know the difference between which players are hungry and which ones are not after the last 2 weeks. I know exactly which ones are and aren't. And I need y'all to understand. We can't be playing out there half-baked, man. We got to come out there hungry. Now, some of y'all got the message, some of y'all didn't. So I'm going to say it again. And I hope this message from Steve Smith rang true to y'all. Because we've been doing this for too long now. Too long. Y'all keep making up excuses of why you screwed up on certain plays. Listen, man. Stay hungry. Get out there and stay hungry. And I love this, man. I'm going to send these clips to Blitz too, man. Because I want him to play those on his stream too. When we do the post game. These are major, major things that need to be discussed. Before we even get into the stats, before we even get into the depth charts, before we get into anything else. These players are not hungry. No. Some of y'all are not. So for the ones that are not, and y'all know who you are, I'm going to need y'all to get a reality check. Figure out what got you into whatever you're doing. Whatever position it is, and whatever got you into the NFL, and I'm going to need you to be that hungry again. Because I guarantee you don't make it to the NFL if you ain't hungry, if you're not hungry as a player. You don't make it to this level if you're not angry, focused, and bona fide on whatever you're doing. And set in your ways. And know exactly what you want. So, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, wake up. To all the players that are not currently getting it done, wake up. Because you're going to find yourself off this team very, very quickly if you don't get your act together. I don't need to say no names. Y'all know who you are. Stay hungry. Look at your rookie year. That goes for all the veterans too. Stay hungry like it's your first day in the NFL. Remember that feeling that you felt on the first day when you got into the NFL and you started working. You said, I'm going to make a difference on this franchise. I'm going to make sure they recognize why I was drafted. I'm going to make sure that they know and remember me. And I'm going to put in that work. It ain't about the dollar bills yet. It's about putting in work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and some of y'all, when you get your dollar bills, you say, well, I know I'm already gonna get paid, so why should I get this done? You know, for you. And let me clarify something. This ain't the New York Jets. Or I should say now, the Arizona Cardinals. This ain't the Arizona Cardinals. This ain't the old Jets team. Where they just get paid and they just slack off. This ain't that. Alright? We don't do that down here in Carolina. We didn't spend $70+ million so you could sit on your butt and be lazy on the field. Some of y'all did a reality check for real. And I understand Frank is your head coach. I understand you don't want to play for him. Don't play for him. Play for Deuce Staley. Play for Ajaro. Play for Thomas Brown, man. These people want success in Carolina. Do you? Then follow them. Follow them. Don't listen to Frank's garbage sales pitch and be like, rah, 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 rah. And then once you get on the field, you're like, well, I don't feel like playing for this man no more. Nah. Listen to what Deuce Staley is telling you. Listen to what Ajaro is telling you. Get your act together. Because I ain't about to watch these clowns play out on this field and not get their act together no more, man. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Without saying something about it. Some of y'all did a reality check for real. Stay hungry. Alright. Now. Next thing we need to address. Let's get into the actual content here. The injury list. We got 4 players officially out. We got a few players that are on the IR. So Brian Burns is out with a concussion. CJ Henderson is out with a concussion. Laviska is out with an ankle injury. So all you people wanting us to get Laviska more involved, he's out. Alright, so we got Steven Sullivan out with a shoulder injury. And what frustrates me is everybody that has gotten involved in this offense is now hurt. In some way, shape, or form. Except for Thielen. For some reason, he's Superman. I don't get it. But everybody else has gotten hurt. So, then you got Xavier Woods. Questionable after a limited practice on Wednesday. Did not practice on Monday and Tuesday. So hopefully he can go. So now we got another safety. We got Von Bell, quadriceps, full practice all week, questionable status. I think he'll go. I think he'll play. Blackshear. Here comes another offensive player that we've got involved in the last 2 weeks. Ankle injury. Full practice all week. We got Tommy Tremble with a shoulder injury. That's yet another one that we got involved in the last 2 weeks. But he's full practice. Okay, so he's good to go. Frankie Luvu, hip injury. He's good to go. Marquise Haynes. Full practice all week. Questionable for game day. I think he's going to play. Then you got Icky with the ankle injury. Full practice all week. He will play. So, but with Icky not getting it done, here's my question. What do we have any depth on this offensive line that could help us right now? And I'm not talking about Throckmorton. Do we have anybody that can help? And I mean immediately help the players that I've mentioned before. Because Bozeman and Corbett can't do this by themselves. They need y'all. And when I say win in the trenches, I mean win in the doggone trenches. I don't mean just stand there and act like statues and let them bull rush you into the ground. I mean take back those trenches and build a doggone log cabin in them. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with watching our offensive linemen get bullied in that trench. I'm tired of it. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I say bullied. Because the three players I mentioned already have gotten absolutely decimated on certain plays. It's sickening to me. Y'all need to hit the weight room. Y'all need to work on your footwork, your hands, everything. Technique is just trash right now. It's trash. And I don't know whether y'all are just not listening to James Campen or whether Campen is screwing up and not teaching you the right things. Or whether you're just that hard-headed that even though he's taught you all this stuff, it doesn't translate to Sundays. I don't know which one it is out of those three, but it's one of those three. Something's got to give, man. Because this offensive line at times just looks like it's made of paper. It's straight up made of paper. And we can't go into a game where our offensive line looks like paper and it just gets shredded week after week after week after week. Something's got to be done. We need to sign somebody, do something. This is getting ridiculous. Oh wait, Norwell. Andrew Norwell is sitting on the free agent couch and he hasn't even gotten a single phone call yet. Why not? Why not? A veteran Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl appearance offensive lineman for us still has not gotten a single phone call. Yet Trey Turner gets picked up by the Saints. Trey Turner. Y'all understand what I'm saying right now? Management. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? This cannot continue. Get your heads out of your butts and do something with this. Because if this continues for the rest of the year, we're looking at 1 to 2 wins. At best. At best. With the $70+ million contracts that we have put on the table for these guys. Some of these players had their contract cut in half this year and put towards other players that are not producing. If I was a veteran player and I had my contract cut in half and these guys were not producing, I'd be pissed right now. Straight up, I would be pissed off. And if anybody is in that locker room, I don't blame you. But take that frustration out on the other team. Okay? Take it out in a healthy way. Don't attack your teammates. Don't yell at them. Just take it out on the field, man. Turn it into healthy production, man. You know? And I know that's easier said than done. And I know it's tough, man. But I know you can do it. Alright, so the Bears players that are hurt. You got Josh Blackwell. Full practice, he's questionable. The hamstring injury, he'll play. Carl. Blasingame. The running back with a concussion, he's out. Jaquan Brisker with a concussion, that's the safety. But he had full practice this week, so maybe he's coming out of that concussion protocol. Nate Davis, the offensive lineman. Ankle injury, he's out. Did not practice all week. That's an opportunity. If you're going to bull rush an offensive lineman, we're dealing with the second stringer now. Take advantage. But oh wait, our bull rush is trash. God. Tremaine Edmonds, the middle linebacker, knee injury, he's out. Take advantage. Throw it over the middle. Tremaine Edmonds is a major player on that defense. If you could take advantage of that spot, do it. So we got Justin Fields with a right thumb injury, limited practice all week, doubtful. Okay, so again, we're looking at Gardner Minshew. Khalil Herbert, running back with an ankle injury, full practice all week, questionable. He'll play. We'll see a lot of Khalil Herbert. Cole Kmet, tight end, knee injury, full practice on Tuesday and Wednesday. He'll probably play. Terrell Smith, DB illness, did not practice Monday and Tuesday, limited practice on Wednesday. He's out. St. Brown, the wide receiver, hamstring injury, full practice, but he will be back. Okay, so Tyreek Stevenson, corner, ankle injury, full practice all week. He'll be back. So we're going to go over and look at the Bears depth chart. Off the Bears official website. Give me just a moment. What time's the game start again? It's game day is. What time are we starting today? 8:15. Okay. So we're about 15, 20 minutes out from game time. In Chicago. Alright, so here is the Bears depth chart. We're going to take a look at that real quick. You got DJ Moore, obviously, who is going to absolutely shred us. But he said he's nothing personal against us, for trading him. I believe that. But if you look at DJ's numbers this year, 47 receptions, 735 yards, 15.64 average, 5 touchdowns. This is just DJ being DJ when he's throwing the ball. I mean, look at the yards after. Look at the average. That's yards after catch, guys. That's yak. That's what DJ does. Everybody knows that. Everybody's aware of it. Look what he did against the Commanders, man. He went off against the Commanders. 8 receptions, 230 yards, 28.8 average, 58 longest pass, 3 touchdowns against the Commanders. And it makes you wonder what the Commanders' defense was doing that game. Because the Bears put up 40 points in that game. The Commanders' defense was awful. It was absolutely awful. I mean, the Bears were just having their way with that defense. Absolutely awful. Alright, so when DJ is being thrown the ball, 30-12 against the Raiders. 8 catches, 54 yards. Do y'all notice this? But the Raiders secondary tackled him, so he didn't get any yards after the catch. They're very good at that. They're very good at stopping the yak. I've noticed that this year. When he's not getting thrown the ball, look at this. Loss, 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 and loss. You know? And you have to wonder, okay, why are they not throwing him the ball? You got Gardner Minshew in. Why is his man not throwing him the ball? Because he's had Justin Fields in. Alright, so even despite Justin Fields being in against the Broncos, horrendous secondary, he still managed to get 8 catches, 131 yards, and a touchdown. There you go. Easy. Easy. Just throw the ball to DJ, and he's going to rack up yards against a terrible secondary. Even against a decent secondary, he's still racking up that type of average. This is what DJ does. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been trying to tell you this. This is why we need a wide receiver like this. But the Bears don't know how to use him right. His numbers are inconsistent because they don't know how to use it. Because Justin Fields is not a very good quarterback. Point blank. The only reason this man only has 5 touchdowns this year is because Justin Fields is his quarterback. I guarantee you, if you put Joe Burrow back there or Lamar Jackson, those touchdowns would be double that. Easily. That yardage would go over 1,000 by now. He'd be well over 50 receptions. And that average would look more like 18. Instead of 15 yards per pop. I'm telling you, that is how you maximize DJ Moore. And the Bears don't know how to do that. So, Gardner Minshew doesn't know how to do it either. I can guarantee you that. So, let's double up DJ. And then we'll figure out what else they have. You know? Because they don't have much else. Velus Jones Jr., who is that? You know? Tyler Scott, who is that? Yeah, you don't have Darnell Mooney, who is that? And then St. Brown is just barely getting healthy right now. You got a bunch of people that really don't do much. Cole Kmet really has been carrying a lot of the load at tight end. As you can see right here, 41 receptions, 374 yards, 5 touchdowns, 9.12. Yeah, he's been carrying the load. A lot of that was short yardage situations, but, you know, they are what they are. Then you got Khalil Herbert. 51 carries, 272 yards, 5.33 average. So he's been getting him down the field. So if you could stop him, I think you have a fair shot at doing some damage. But don't underestimate him. You got to get off your blocks and you've got to stop those gaps. And that's what we're not doing. Time after time after time after time again. We're not getting off our blocks. We're not stopping the gaps. And these guys are just running circles around us. So we got Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson's got 33 carries, 149 yards, 4.52 average, and 1 touchdown. Now what strikes me is the fact that every game this average is inconsistent. Y'all notice that? That's typical for a running back. But here's another thing I noticed. When he was throwing the ball, he doesn't get more than 5 yards. Except for one game against the Saints. He does not get more than 6 yards. Average. Now, his longest ones in those games never got past double digits. That takes away the big play. He's not a big play player. Donta Foreman. People have been talking about the fact that they wanted us to keep Donta Foreman. Let's see how he's doing. 65 carries, 287 yards, 4.42 average, 2 touchdowns. Now tell me where this dude was between weeks 2 and 5. Where was this dude? Why was he not being used? If he was that much of a humongous factor, where was he? What? This is more proof that the Bears don't know what they're doing with the talent that they have. What is he doing at third string? Ladies and gentlemen, third string. Donta Foreman. Does not get used against the Buccaneers. Does not get used against the Chiefs. Does not get used against the Buccaneers, the Broncos, or the Commanders. Weeks 2 through 5. Now, did he have an injury during that time period? Because I don't remember an injury. If he was injured, fair enough. He's got an excuse. You know, the Bears have an excuse for not to use Foreman. But if he was not injured, then you have to wonder, what is he doing at third string in Chicago? That tells me these people have no idea what they're doing with the talent they have. Because if he was that much of a factor in Carolina, he should be starting in Chicago. But, hey, that's just one Panthers fan opinion. You got 2 touchdowns against the Raiders. You know, you got an average of 5.6 against the Raiders, 4.3 against the Vikings. 3.2 against the Packers. Almost racking up 90 plus yards, you know, against the Raiders and the Saints, sitting in the 80s range. Why is this man not getting used? Could it be that they don't have an offensive line? Now we're starting to see the bigger picture. And this is what I've been trying to tell people. The Bears do not have an offensive line. They have not had an offensive line for years, and they still don't have an offensive line. But nobody wants to believe it. Until you start digging into the stats, until you start watching the game, they do not have a good offensive line. I'm sorry, they don't. As a matter of fact, let's look where they're ranked. Alright, so let's see. The Bears' offensive line ranks near the bottom of the NFL as a group, according to Pro Football Focus grades. And that's early. We're not even talking about now. We're talking about early. And the only offensive line penalized so far to that point. Okay. Let me get this straight. Okay, so after 2 games into the NFL season, The only offensive lines ranked worse by the PFF at that point were the Houston Texans and the New York Giants. Worse. Did y'all notice that I just mentioned the Houston Texans? Oh, wait a minute. Could that be why CJ Stroud is still struggling and not producing what he should be producing out of a rookie with a good line? Could that be the reason? I don't know. You decide. Now, granted that Houston offensive line has gotten better since then. I'll give you that. I'm willing to give you that. But first two games out, horrible 31st ranking. All right, so with that in mind, that's Donta Foreman and the Bears all line. Now, we're going to get into the Bears defense. We got 10 minutes left before the kickoff, but I'm going to go ahead and go over this real quick. You got DeMarcus Walker, defensive end. You got Yannick, and you got Rasheem Green, Dominique Robinson. These guys will lay havoc to our offensive line if we don't learn how to block properly. Andrew Billings, Justin Jones, they're going to get beat up by our running game. So we're going to try to establish our running game. Tremaine Edmonds, Jack Sanborn, Jalen Johnson, and then you got Noah Sewell sitting at second string for the Bears. Tyreek Stevenson. Now, I don't need to tell you how dangerous Tyreek Stevenson is. 35 solo tackles. Okay, 35. This dude is legitimate, man. He's got 4 pass deflections so far this year. But he racked up 10 tackles against the Chargers. Even though they lost to the Chargers. None of those tackles were solo tackles out of 12 combined. He got 6 against the Raiders. Solo. These are solo numbers now. 5 solo tackles against the Packers. This dude's a legitimate threat. He will stop you from getting extra yards if he's playing. Do not underestimate that man. Now, what I'm most concerned about, you got Eddie Jackson, you got Jaquan Brisker. I'm not worried about those guys. What worries me is those defensive ends because our offensive line has not been blocking properly. And our offensive lineman has been turning these average level offensive linemen into absolute mush. These are average level defensive ends turning average level offensive linemen into absolute dirt clods. Now I don't need to tell you how dangerous Yannick can get. You see it for yourself. 6'2", 246 pounds. 8 solo tackles, 2 sacks. That's when he's actually playing. He can be a terror if you let him. But DeMarcus Walker, 6'4", 280 pounds. 7 solo tackles, 1.5 sacks. They don't have much of a pass rush, ladies and gentlemen. You can't just let these guys do what they want with you if you're an offensive lineman. Win the trenches. And I'm not just saying win the trenches. I'm saying build a doggone log cabin in those doggone trenches. Let them know. Let them know who owns those doggone trenches, man. And stay hungry. Stay hungry today. Now I believe Tremaine Edmonds is hurt. Let me double check that. Yes, he is out. So we got lucky. We're not dealing with him. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of the safeties. Because Brisker is out as well. So use that to your advantage. Tyreek Stevenson will be playing though. And just to warn you about Tyreek Stevenson, 6'0", 204. He's got 35 solo tackles. I just mentioned him already. So, we will be dealing with him. Now keep in mind, DJ Moore is going to shred this defense if we let him out of containment. Y'all better put double coverage on this man the entire doggone game. I don't want to see any excuses. We have the manpower to put him under double coverage. And if y'all still get burnt, I'm blaming that just squarely on the fact that he's DJ. And our lack of talent. Now, at corner. Because we've now had 7 chances to fix this cornerback room. So I don't want to hear the excuses when our cornerbacks get burned again by this man right here. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. The Buffalo Bills just signed Josh Norman for breadcrumb money, man. And we didn't even pick up the phone. I'm just sitting here like, make it make sense. But yeah, stay hungry during this game, man. Stay hungry. We got 4 minutes till kickoff. I am going to switch off the Facebook stream and restart the YouTube stream on my phone and stream from there while I'm watching the game. That's the only way I'm going to be able to pull this off, folks, because it's Prime Video. So I am doing the free trial. So with that in mind, I'll have Blitzball streaming with me and reaction with me. So it'll be off of his stream, but I'll have my YouTube stream going on my phone. So everybody head over to the YouTube stream when it kicks up, okay? When it kicks back up. Alright, I'll go live in about 2 or 3 minutes, alright? And we'll get this thing rolling. With that being said, you already know what time it is. Stay happy, healthy, and well. And keep pounding if you're watching on Facebook. What's your YouTube stream name for the game? There's a specific number I want y'all to look up in YouTube for this channel. It's I'll tell you in just 1 second, so y'all know exactly how to find us. All right. It is hold on, man. Hold on. It's Keep Pounding 3869. Type that into YouTube search. Keep pounding 3869. I'm gonna drop that into the chat real quick on Facebook real quick. Hold on. Where's my live stream at on Facebook? It's not here? Why is it not showing up? Should be. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, Tyler Hale says, I'm wearing my Greg Olson jersey tonight. I hear you, man. Am I showing the game? No. Darren. Appreciate the roses, Spencer. $3,869. Type that into the YouTube algorithm. You'll find it. Cool? Yeah? Good? Alright. Appreciate y'all. And everybody switch over to the YouTube channel. Everybody switch over there. Poppy says, game is starting. Let's go. See y'all there in a minute.